Welcome to another webinar with CVC Coaching. This is part 2. Hopefully you've already watched the 18.5-minute webinar on the morning meeting. Now, this webinar will last about an hour today. And it's not going to be so much me talking. It's going to be the opportunity for you to actually watch a manager's meeting in a company that is thoroughly ingrained in lean, and so you can see the methods. And before we go further, understand, I know your problems. I understand your problems. And from myself to you, this is a part of the solution. For many of you, this is a tremendous part of the solution. This is a proprietary webinar that I'm presenting, and it is for my clients' eyes and my clients' use only. I've asked before, and I'm asking again, please do not share this. I went to some pretty great links to audio tapes and videotape, which you're getting ready to watch. It's extremely valuable to you. It's a valuable tool. Please, please do not share and give this away. I asked your consideration in that. So, moving along from there, going to the next step, what we got to do is, I want to extend my thanks at this point to Charlie Quayle and his team at Chimneys Plus and Gutter Solutions in Pittsburgh, North Carolina. And to give you a little background, Charlie was actually the place that I saw lean in formation in the year 2011. I stopped to visit Charlie, known Charlie for a number of years, and to be honest, when I met with Charlie that evening, I saw a man with an entirely new drive to move to another level. And I saw things that day in his operation that I immediately got on the phone with other clients and said, hey, you got to see this. You got to see what's going on. We've got to institute this at your business. If you watched the earlier webinar, you saw that there was a morning meeting conducted in the area you're looking at right now. If you're looking, there's a box of Bojangles biscuits there. If you're not from the South, that's a biscuit maker that many of us go to, chicken and biscuits. But what had happened, the guys had reached a plateau either the day before, the week before, unsure. And the prize was they spun a wheel. If you look, there's a wheel over there. Because one of the things about lean is the celebration you have when you achieve a goal. But you saw the morning meeting done in this location. What you're looking at now is various views of Charlie's operation. If you look to the left, upper left, these are job carts. This is part of the lean operation where every job is cataloged, the materials pulled out for the next day. Looking to the upper right, you see a clean, neat, orderly warehouse. To the left, a neat, clean, orderly warehouse. To the lower right, you're seeing a building that Charlie built. To the left, you don't view it. He had actually bought a house, built the red building, which resembles a barn, and then moved his operation from his home. And the center photo is where we're going to be today. This is Charlie's management team conducting their weekly morning meeting. Now, as you notice, you're going to hear phones ringing in the background. There's no one answering because the most important thing right now is to come to this meeting and come together, and you'll see the process. This is set. This meeting starts at a specific time. And Charlie's prepared an agenda, and all his management team members will participate in this. I also want to thank, before we go further, 2 people that have inspired me a lot and hopefully may have inspired you. One is Hope Stevenson. Her and her dad were some of the first people to talk about lean. And her dad actually did some training in lean. One of the most significant instructors ever in this industry was Dave Pomeroy. Another gentleman that's inspired and has worked with Charlie, and you're going to see the results of his work, is Bob Arbel. He comes from a company called Bright Cup Building Solutions, but Bob was a plant manager in a company that was supplying Toyota and had to learn the Toyota production system. So we're indebted to these people, and hopefully they can be mentors to you. If you're in a mixed group, then Hope is already a mentor to you. So these are part of the people that have helped Charlie. Hope has worked with Charlie some. So these are some of the significant people. One of the things I've learned about lean is, years ago I heard the word lean. I thought it was all about assembly line type production. But what I've learned since then is that lean is a total culture within the company. And what lean is where everybody in the team becomes a member of the team. And we drive forward as a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team. And we solve problems as a team. It's all about the teamwork. It's all important that you do this. And what you're going to see is these are the 5 S. And the 5 S of lean are sort, set, shine, standardize, and sustain. And so many have set out on a voyage of lean, and possibly you may be one. Possibly you are a company that has even already leaned out a warehouse, leaned out a truck, leaned out whatever. So what happens in lean is we sort, we set everything into its place, we shine it up, we standardize it. But then the important thing is we sustain it. And so many have went through 4 S's, but finding the 5th S sometimes is a difficult task. And without all 5 S's and continually reviewing and what you're doing, you're never going to reach the level that you set out to do. And one of the key things is, and those are one of the thoughts that I've got from Charlie, you never ever start more than you can maintain. Never ever start things that you cannot maintain. Think back in your own history. How many things have you started, great ideas, and they died and withered on the vine simply because you couldn't maintain them? So at this point, we're going to start going, and the video meeting is going to be it's going to be divided into 4 segments. You may need to replay some of these. I'm going to encourage you right now, if you don't have it, that you get something to write with, and you be prepared to take notes. As you're going through this is a recorded webinar. You can stop it at any point. You can repeat parts of it. You may have to watch this webinar 2 or 3 times to grasp all that's happening here. But if you can look at this and you can see the system, remember, we've already taken the information. We've collected the data daily. The manager's meeting occurs once a week. So with that, we're going to go to the Chimneys Plus morning meeting that I had the privilege to observe, and Charlie has graciously allowed us to share this with you. So this is the Chimneys Plus manager's meeting. It'll be borne down in 4 segments.
Okay, we're here at Chimneys Plus Coaching Solutions in Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Been here just to observe the morning meeting. It starts to cruise out, and what we're getting ready to do is observe Charlie and his manager's meeting. Charlie, is this called anything in lean besides the manager's meeting? Okay, so this is the manager's meeting. Charlie Quayle's company, Pittsburgh, North Carolina. At this point, Charlie, look forward to what we hear.
All right, calendar time. Maybe there's a couple of things. We have a new hire. Robert Tripp is working with us, and I don't know if we've triggered it, but we have like new hire training that we probably need to put on there a couple hours for that. If you find some time there, and probably at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, he came up this morning and mentioned that he was going to be out first thing in the morning, and I don't know if it's possible for tomorrow after that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I told him we'd come, if you were okay, we'd probably try to get him in after his appointment. And I don't know what you have.
Yeah, I don't have
So,
but
so okay, we just need to set him up for our orientation at the beginning of the day, being 8 o'clock.
yeah, and we can just take him to it'd be like one of my days off. I mean, in the office, like
Has that paperwork been filled out yet? It hasn't come to my basket.
yeah, I was wondering what the trigger. He's done all the W-2 stuff.
Okay. If that paperwork, if he hasn't turned it in yet,
I'll get it to you. I put it on Wendy's desk.
Okay, I put it in the wrong basket. That's what happened.
Okay. So in the future, it goes to you and then you pass it to him.
Yeah, that'd be the trigger.
Yeah, because what we want to do is we want to enter his information, at least his phone number and name into jar so that we can create a calendar and such.
So I don't know where that paperwork is now. Wendy's probably already filed it, so I guess for this time we'll just need to set up a new hire orientation sometime next week. He doesn't have anything, so.
Has he filled out like uniform request?
I did that with him yesterday.
Okay, so that's kind of, where'd that go?
That did go in my basket.
So that would normally go into a new hire packet or something, right?
That will, no,
That could be anybody.
that could be anybody, just a request.
Okay.
That's not,
The trigger is the W-2s and stuff like that, that trigger. And you put up the 90-day review and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
How would you want us to trigger something now, or you got it?
Yeah, we'll just ask Wendy to dig it back out.
Or you just need phone numbers off of that, is that what you need?
Yeah.
Okay. And address and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. You got that, you gonna ask her, or you
I
want me?
will.
Okay, cool. Also on calendar time, is next week. Wendy's gonna be out of town for most of the week, and so my morning meeting, I will not probably be around. I'm gonna do my regular schedule. I just won't be present, just to let you know, Jeremy, and y'all wouldn't know otherwise, except for Tuesday. I might even skip out on Tuesday too. Just, I may or may not, just, we'll see. But, Grace will be around and just, instead of waking up to an empty house, I'll be around and get some work done in a while. Just skip out in the morning meetings, so that's for you. And next, and on Friday, the 14th of November, Debbie, we're having a strategy meeting with Bob and Christina.
Is that on your calendar already?
It's on, no, I don't think so. It's on Tony. I want you to put it on there.
You know, fine.
8 o'clock.
8 to 1.
Just go 1, 12, 1, something like that, 12.
And that's Jeremy, you, and Don?
And, yeah, Christina. And I'm going to go over a little bit with what we have just so I can get some of your input too, but.
And next week, when you're out of the office, are you coming in normally at 8, or are you looking at your calendar for your appointments?
Yes.
Or are you still going to all those appointments?
Yep. So then nothing's changing except just I won't. Jeremy probably is the only one that would have noticed.
Okay.
So I just want to kind of pre on what's going on there. Anything else? Saturdays. Plan on 2 Saturdays.
First, yeah, nobody's changed
First.
anything, so.
Did I guess we need to talk to,
He didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. I think he did see him, so I need to, just, Tony, I don't think we fully communicated, so
He's on the calendar this Saturday.
I know he needs some, I think we actually need to have make sure we're set on that. Haven't heard anything, Jeremy, Tony, but I don't know.
That's probably going to cause a little bit of issue because I was not thinking about the late start on his Saturdays.
This is each one, right?
Uh-huh.
That
So,
could be Alex, too.
okay.
So if it comes down to it. but-
Well, I'll have to switch it over to Alex because if he can't start until 11,
Yeah.
that would prohibit it.
That wasn't every Saturday though, right?
It wasn't Saturday.
Yeah, he's got soccer games and baseball games.
So I need to switch that over to Alex and then find a partial job.
We've got a novice. It'd be awesome if we can talk to Crisco Construction. We got a new project manager review that I went through and ordered the part even yet. So it's kind of pushed it through. But I still gave it to you, but I'll let you know that I did order the part.
We've also got stumps and there's like 4 valves out there. So,
As long as the customer says yes, we're good.
Right. I know that's your focus today is to work outside.
Do you need anybody heat shield trained?
We do.
Saturday morning, Indian Trail, James Stewart's gonna be there. James is opening this up. If you got anybody that can go up there Saturday, he's doing it at his place in his backyard. Jimmy's already set up. Heat shield certification training there.
East and west.
Hmm.
We can.
Well, why don't we adjust a little bit this Saturday and you guys decide who you want to
Just go
send?
with James if you're interested in doing it. He's opening up to what he said, so.
Cool.
We'll definitely have Alex when it needs training and we'll just send Alex to that job then. I can't remember the customer's name. It's on the calendar.
They're gonna start about 8 to 9, and said it's a little over half a day, but they're gonna pour the chimneys, and that way it's just like one of the factory training. Perfect. That'll save you a trip.
So we can review that and that calendar later, Jeremy.
James is not good about getting word out of people.
You got that? So can you reach out to Tony in a positive way today and make sure sometime that we're all cool? You think that's the right thing to do? I mean, I don't want to assume, having discussed it.
You guys had a conversation, not him and I.
Right.
So I don't,
So based on that conversation, he has not mentioned anything, so.
so I'm just gonna say, I want you to understand that it's Saturday and the next Saturday.
Right.
Until you say otherwise, and you have 2 weeks.
Right.
To do that, which we're in those 2 weeks, so we need you to hear this Saturday.
All right, transferring of order responsibility to Jimmy. How's that going? Where are we with gutters and chimneys still?
We're getting there with gutters. We're getting close. It's not quite yet ready
Okay.
for that.
And tell me, what is the training process looking like each day when you're working with him?
Because Jimmy's actually doing the training, or Jimmy's actually doing the work he goes through his flip chart. It's not the process, it's the technology.
Right.
So we're trying different things, moving icons around the computer in different places to try to see,
Navigating.
Yeah. It's just, oh crap, where did that just go? It just zoomed over here. I have no idea where over there went. So,
Cool. All right. So,
he's actually doing some
Okay.
while I'm not around.
okay, he really is.
He's doing stop orders and stuff like that.
Cool. Is he taking a little bit off of you, Laura? Or is that you still doing Kanbans?
I haven't done those in a while.
Okay.
And Jeremy, you're still doing those, right?
Can you do Kanbans?
Yeah, we've done a couple together.
Okay. Cool. How's he doing? Is he okay? Is he still forging ahead, or is he just like he's not sinking ship?
Yeah, he's
stuff?
good. Yeah, he's
Okay,
going
cool. Thank you. And we've got what's our next online guy when it comes to? We got Wes and Joseph. That's a pretty significant impact. Their team. How's Wes doing on his? You said he's sort of in the same boat. Is there anything more we can do for Wes? Just repetitive stuff? Is that?
Yeah, it's really just going to be getting used to. It's just the fact that they haven't used computers, so I think them using them and getting used to where stuff disappears to is knowing where the icons are. If it's not here, check here. If it's not there, check up there.
So the intuition is just not there. Okay. So,
Wes is also doing, I set him up for CSIA training again at CCCC on the 5th, which is next Wednesday,
cool. Is that the morning, afternoon?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, okay, cool.
Blocked his calendar off from 2 on to make sure you get here on time.
Okay.
Did you put anything on his time card at all about that? Any printouts or anything?
He knows about it.
Okay.
I talked to him to ask him what day was better for him.
Okay.
And that's the day we chose.
He felt IRC or successful chicken soup.
Both.
He felt both.
I'd have to look, but I think successful was by 1 point, and IRC may have been by like 15.
When you get down to this, I'll give you a couple things that you start looking at when they come in. I think it's
Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Jerry. Robert, you've got on your schedule by Friday. What are you going to have to end? What do you see?
Just the timeline of this training, what we're expecting to be, expectations and checkpoints.
What's your timeline for gutter competency? What is leaves?
Well, we've been saying 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks. But that's all. We haven't had one perfectly go well yet, so I think this will be the one where we can actually make that one.
That's miters and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying? Cool.
So I think I'd like to think 2 to 3 weeks, but have to be, there's going to be checkpoints in there. Where Ryan or Robert runs the truck without Alex being present on the job.
Is it within those 2 weeks or outside those 2 weeks?
Right outside of 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, maybe next time you can have that timeline and sort of show us what the training process. I'd like to see that. Maybe have some input. I know we all have some input.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Trey, and well, those are secondary. I guess Wes is the next main guy we're trying to complete. Right here. Just want to go over a little bit. When Sam came over, we had sort of mini strategy meetings, sort of preliminary strategy for 2015. I want to go over with you and Debbie since you weren't here, but one of the main things, we're trying to look at gutters. We've sort of stalled out on revenue, and we're wondering what do we need to do to get in place to sort of move it to the next level. And also for me, what am I going to do? This whole sales guide for chimneys sort of wrapped up in there too. But one of the things we talked about was actually taking Don, moving him to be both a sales manager over chimneys and gutters, and then we'd actually bring in a second sales guy fairly soon, maybe by the end of the year at least.
Now, I think it's important to note at this point, if you're noticing, part of this meeting and the process is now everyone on the management team is aware of what's going on in the company. In other words, tremendous sharing of information. We're talking about training. We're talking about some issues. If you noticed, some of them involve moving into the field paperless, certification, other things. Now we're going in discussion of adding a sales manager. We're going to rejoin Charlie and his team now, and we're into part 2 of the videos taken at the Charlie Quayle managers meeting, and I hope this is being helpful.
He would do his gutters as well, and then we'd have somebody who would help with gutters too. So what we're thinking is that the real expansion of gutters is going to be due to sales opportunities, getting guys out there. We're going to look at the marketing aspect of it, bring in Christina. She's already on it. We talked about this meeting. And so the idea is to grow sales in gutters by $100,000 in labor revenue, and then grow chimneys by $200,000 in labor revenue. So go to 5, from 4 to 5, and from 7 to 9. This is labor, not materials. Just it's all labor, no materials included in that. So that's kind of the outline of it. We get some training involved with. Rick Myers is actually coming today. I don't know if you have any time to meet Rick Myers, but he's the Valor rep. He's coming in around 10. We've got Scott Scaris with IHP. He'd come in and do some training. So there's some rep training that we want to lean on. I know Steve Hall can be brought in with Enviro and IHP as well.
So, and there's also manufacturers training, in-house training for them. So, I'm sure Jerry's got lots of ideas. So that's just kind of a quick run. So overall growth in sales will be in gutters and chimneys.
I want to stop right here and encourage you to look very closely and listen. If you notice, what part of this is Charlie and his team are setting forth goals. They're not just saying, hey, we're going to do this. They're setting forth solid goals. And what you're going to look at now is the way that goals are tracked. You're seeing several different flip charts coming available. If you'll notice, there's going to be a lot of movement of different flip charts, different whiteboards throughout. Very important part, because what they're doing is measuring and tracking. That's a lot of what goes on. You have to measure. You have to track. Otherwise, you don't know what your mileage is. So that's part of what you're looking at here is measurement, tracking, planning, implementation, modification, sustaining. That's what it's all about. Let's rejoin the meeting.
Next year, 25%. All right. Sorry. Did bring an extra flip chart then. Sorry, but it was sitting outside. All right. Quality issues in October 11. Really? There's a delivery issue. Delivery. 22. Jerry, just the goal here for delivery and quality of this part of our waste, our goal is to be under 4%, under 5%, if we have. Under 5%, less than 5% is our goal for waste, 5% of revenue. We've done it 1 month, 4.8. We got close here, and we were ridiculous in September, but so we'll know whether we're under 5% or not. Days booked out. Gutter truck, days booked out.
5 and 6 partial.
Look at that, done. Good job. Okay. Well, we were 3 booked out, solid days booked out in gutters last week, but now we're 5 days booked out with 6 partial days. Okay?
Tony is 6 and 5.
Okay.
Brian's 12 and 14.
You have a partial something or other for Wes, or is he?
2.
2. All right, proposals given.
Gutter Solutions, 13 and 65.
Okay.
17 and 51.
Cool. Appliances,
Last week, there were 7 appliances sold.
so we're at 11.
11 for the month. That's not counting this week, of course.
Our goal is 8, so we've already sold 11. So
And I had 2 yesterday.
yes, this is our focus is 21st century fireplaces. That's what we're focusing on, and that's sort of our goal here. All right, past 5 days revenue. We have a goal of 4782 of labor build out per day. So we're tracking last 5 days of that. How many times did we meet that goal?
We didn't meet that goal.
That we, yeah.
3 were under.
3 were under? I guess those are days we ran 2 trucks or something. What's the deal?
Yeah. Monday we were
Seems like
down. Friday we only had 2 trucks, and Saturday was 42.
Okay, so 3 under. How about the next 5 days?
2 are reached. 2
Okay, 2 are over at this point?
reached the goal.
Okay, so we're 3 under there too. Is there room on the schedule to? So we went up. We anticipated. There was one day we had 2. The forecast was 3. Yeah, we had 3 and we did 3, and here we're forecasting 3 to be under that goal. Any input on what's going on? Is it lack of trucks going out? Is it, idea is try to see what we can do to get that so that next week we had 3 forecasts and we actually missed 3. 3 were actually not over that mark. I'm wondering if we can actually change anything so that next week we actually figured it out and got something done.
Today we're doing Harvey Harmon, so that's one of those 3.
As a habitat house, that's
And do you have the numbers there?
I do, but if we want to take a look at the calendar, I probably would be better with a laptop here,
okay.
because then we can see who the customer is and why it might not be reaching that. Like, I wouldn't have remembered Harvey Harmon being on there.
Well, that's kind of, if that would help you make that report, that would be helpful so we can actually dig in a little bit. And I certainly have a laptop here if you'd like to let you borrow it.
All right, if you want to do it now, let's do it.
Debbie may go crazy looking at my laptop being used to a big old screen.
I think one of the things, though, is that, when you have a chimney truck going out with just cleanings, and no caps, no appliances, no things like that, it's really hard for that vehicle to reach
Uh-huh.
that.
All right. Right, we know that to be the problem.
So if we want to take a look at specific days, specific vehicles, we can certainly do that.
Well, part of it is that this exercise is supposed to help us look at what are the ingredients to get over the goal and see if we can factor those in each day. So we're looking ahead and we're seeing that 3 days of forecast to be under our goal. So what factors help us get over the goal, and see if we can introduce those factors in the next 5 days so we can change it so that we actually get over the goal.
Okay, well,
And this is,
here we go. What do you want to look at?
well,
Because you got to look at individual vehicles first, right?
right, so, we know habitat is one of them, so the habitat place is, I don't know, it's bad. It's probably not the best, might be to look at it the day before or something. Let's look at, we got a pine, so it's an average too, so it's not just the lowest truck, but it's also are the trucks that are running, how close are we? Are we close on some of those?
For instance, here's a vehicle at 593, and here it is at 6.
Oh, that's a habitat.
Yeah, so, you've got your individual vehicles, but,
Okay, so that one is,
so you have your 2 that reach it, and
1, 2, 3. How many trucks are going out today? 3?
2,
4.
so it's 3 that reach it. And part of this,
There is none.
who's out today?
4 trucks.
Wes was out tomorrow. Is he out today? What are you guys doing?
Hey, I don't get creative at 7 o'clock in the morning. If ain't nobody here to help me do it, I just do it.
What are they doing?
Time you in here at 6:30, I was.
Yeah. I see Steven and
Wes.
I've got all 4 up. I've got everything.
Steve and Ron will go and finish
finished
that.
up yesterday.
So it's,
I have that on the calendar for Friday.
Friday. See, so those kinds of things,
Yeah,
I just had to,
Yeah,
I had to do it.
I agree, but,
Yeah.
Laura and I can't really.
so it's that, right, it's the whole thing is that it's fluid.
Yeah.
And we know it, that's what we want this to be, is
Yeah.
fluid. That's the whole point, is to be moving this number as well. You say you have,
So today is less than,
today is 2 anyway, right?
well, what is the number for the math of the spreadsheet?
It's at the bottom
This is
here.
today, 3276.
So 3276. And then yesterday's job was 24, so let's just call it 1200. So they'll be at 4,476 today, so they're
Yeah.
300 shy again.
And so that takes it off of Friday, so that's gonna mess up all of Fridays.
Unless we
It'll make something,
fluid it,
you put something else.
True, but the numbers will change.
right, and if it's, so, there you go. But the idea is to keep looking at the days
Mhm.
and trying to see what we can do to pull things forward, to bring another truck online, to split up a truck. And I know some of those you can't control. You just have to say, Jeremy, is there another truck going out? And that changes the whole formula right there. So we have two that don't reach it. We got two that don't reach it, so we're okay. We're a little better. This is how many are not reaching it.
Does this number include what you're talking about? The balance?
That's okay. We'll find something else then.
And then there's a Saturday added on, so the week goal is 24,420.
Right.
So that Saturday is added in down here.
Cool. All right.
Oh, for
You.
Is he doing that support that was supposed to get done yesterday too? Okay, that's it on Friday morning.
yes. No, we could have them go do that maybe.
There's a downspout.
If you want to take a look at support and try to see about them taking care of some support
Yeah.
today, we can certainly see if that's something they.
All right, this is Ronald and, Stephen.
Their instruction right now is to go help Alex finish his day if he's not going to finish it.
He's doing a habitat or two habitats.
But one,
He's doing
He
it.
can't finish, oh, he's got several things he's doing.
I went 3 today.
Okay, you want to just explain, or maybe, do you do the explanation, Jerry? Do you do explanations
No,
after?
I'll just keep it like, I'm gonna be doing a webinar, so I'll be breaking this down as you go through it, okay? So I'll just go ahead and pretend I ain't here, and I'm sorry if I butt in a while ago, so.
No,
so I need to explain this.
no.
You just keep going.
All right. We got everything done from this side. We're still waiting on, this guy one was a flat roof with some overflow issues. She actually had the old style GG on the house, so it had the kicker on the bottom of the locomotive snowplow. So we're, Trey said that if they're
Watch very closely at this point. What we're going through right now is you're noticing Jeremy is going over all of the problems that were reported in the morning meetings of the last week since the last managers meeting was held. So pay very close attention. This is, if you have service companies, this is critical as part of the managers meeting for this reporting to be done.
the only two areas where the gutters were slid too far forward. And he slid those back, and he said they should be fine because nowhere else was it an issue.
Okay, so, but we didn't replace the GG.
We're not replacing the GG, we just took care of sliding it back.
So that's done?
It's done. All that, warranty. Water splashing issue, broken AC unit, she still hasn't gotten back with us. From Walker Brown still, she's waiting on Walker Brown. Peterson, missing goals from, we're still missing that piece. He's also got a snap disc that's not working. I'm planning on going today and putting that snap disc on, so we're going to see about that. So,
I bet he is.
You done those last
Yeah, he's last week.
Are they all the same, snap disc, or, I'm sure you got the right one?
These are Alex, not.
The snap discs, you sure that?
They're all 110, 120, 130, or 140 snap disc, and that's just the temperature that they come on. Most of them are 110 for fans.
Uh-huh.
So we're just going to put a 110. Or worst case scenario, it comes on earlier than it should, at least until the one from IHP gets here.
Okay. Thanks for taking care of that.
Fish need pre-set on roof, and then return visit got pre-set on clothesline. He sent an email yesterday, did not want to go forward with the little deal that we worked out, and just wanted $100 back. And I think you got the email and you sent it to Wendy already, but check. He's paid already.
I did not call him. Do I need to call him, or did you email him
I
back?
didn't email him. I'll send him an email. Kirby, Chimscan broke its own service. They're going back today to do that.
How can they do that? Because we got Chim
We're
Scan.
wishing and hoping and praying and thinking that one's going to be here by 12:30.
Okay. So somebody's going to run that scan out to them.
Yes.
Where is that job?
Somewhere between here and Ryan.
Whitmore?
So Ryan.
Ryan.
Look at
Kirby.
that. You're so awesome.
Kirby.
I'm going to keep.
Yeah.
Keep.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to chimney cap dented after chase cover installation.
Go back to that. O'Grady?
Miller. Miller.
I don't know what's going on with that. I think Tony's supposed to be working on getting some information from the customer.
He was supposed to call her that day, like that Friday or Thursday that he was here.
He went back out to the job.
Is it like a prefab?
It's a prefab cap. He dropped it. Trying to fix it on the job. Customer saw it.
Nothing is pending.
Shoot.
He said he was going to call her.
Well, I guess we need to get it in the pipeline here. Official.
Is it Heather?
Heather Millis.
It's in his, oh,
He
it is.
didn't get a make and model number when he was out there the second time.
So I should change it.
So anything from here on out is going to be asking her to look at it for herself, or have Tony go by after his last appointment to get that number off.
She's not going to be able to get that.
Okay, we'll have Tony go back out there and get it.
Okay. What's he think? What did he go out to do? I'm sorry, but what was he trying to do the time he went back out there? What did he accomplish?
To see if he was trying to bend it back out again. So we're going to set him up to go back on there?
It's not, there's a basement test.
O'Grady,
No, it's not on there, it's just queuing us to do it.
O'Grady, customer no-show. Did we get that rescheduled? That's the one where he was upset because he said they were there and.
Yeah, it's been processed.
What's the what happened there? Is there anything that we could have done or did do, or is it a
The
customer
guys
issue?
called and left that we talked about.
So it's a
last week.
customer.
Yeah,
It's a customer.
Tony said he called all three numbers and left 2 voicemails.
Okay. So would you leave that as a customer change or whatever that's called?
And they said they called me and told me that they were there and they were beating on the door a couple times. Nobody ever came to the door.
Okay.
And they're saying that his wife was home and he just ran out to do some errands.
Okay.
And they don't understand.
I have no established contact with Miss Wilson for gutter clog at Pine Needles hanging out. I haven't got in touch with her yet. Balamuki, no.
Have you tried or is it just
not?
not?
Enough time on Monroe. Difficult setup.
Just gutters or chimneys?
Just gutters.
Is that done? Have we been back out and finished
I
it?
don't know.
So, that's a real tall, a lot of tall ladders and stuff.
It is scheduled for the 3rd
Ooh, shoot.
on Gary.
Job's done.
The job's done, but
That's what I was talking about.
Yes.
Going back until we finish.
Has it been built out?
Yes.
We're adding a downtown.
We are doing something a little extra.
Okay, cool. And what happened on this one? Is it bad plan, not enough time? Let's figure that one out because we're running into another one later on here. Who was on that job?
Trying out Alex and Steven.
Alex and Steven. What does Alex say? Not enough time because
It says not enough time, it's a difficult setup.
difficult stuff. Okay. So, how much did we miss it by? How many hours did we have to go back?
2.
So, you think part of it is just Stephen and just being young trainee? It's not that young anymore.
Well, we have pictures, right? I think if there's difficult setups,
Uh-huh.
we need to know which part of that house is difficult setups.
Right.
Nothing, to me,
It's not like double ladders or set up scaffolding anywhere or
Yeah.
just 32-foot
big
ladders.
house, but
You were on site for a short time, right? You were on site for a short time.
yeah, we could discuss that.
There you go.
Not on camera.
Well, what I don't want is to keep running into the problem where it says, well, we say you had enough time, and Alex says we didn't have enough time. We need to solve that problem, and we need to know.
Yes.
Okay.
Art was very good at coming back and saying, this is why.
There's very objective comments about
Correct.
we're not getting that information.
Alex is writing off jobs before he even leaves here.
Right.
We didn't finish that yesterday.
Excuse me.
Well, we mentioned it. I don't know if we addressed it.
I mean, when you're looking, and this is what, 3 times a week? I'm
Writing off the job.
I'm not going to get this done.
Yeah.
So
He did mention,
there's,
he did mention to me yesterday about the job from yesterday. He actually brought it up to me when he called and said he wasn't going to finish. That he asked what the labor amount per hour was, and he said that if it's what he thinks it is, it should be a 9-hour job or 9.5-hour job.
Okay, so let's stop right there. He took 9 hours yesterday and didn't finish it.
I know, but I'm just telling you what he told me.
Yeah.
And he thinks that we are shorting him.
but once again, there's a question of time before he even left here.
So
Right.
Before he even, that's
Instead
the
of figuring out a
site.
way to do it and beating it, he's making an excuse for it.
Correct.
Move on.
Yeah, well, we need to talk about it for sure, but, so that's, we were at Monroe. No, I'm sorry. They finished Monroe the first time. They didn't get to Balamuki because they finished Monroe. So they went over by 2 hours. So there's not actually a delivery issue for him. Same thing for Stickle. Stickle was scheduled after Balamuki.
Let's just go ahead and put some owners on this thing, though. I don't want to. Are we going to put some owners on there? Is it bad?
Listen very carefully right now. This is a key part of the entire system. As Charlie just said, let's put some owners on this. And I want you to hear what he's talking about of ownership. And this means, what he's talking about here is someone has to assume ownership of a resolution. You just don't react. This is what I've often called act and react. React is taking care of the problem. Acting is to figure out how we never let it occur again. And as you notice, that's what this meeting is all about, taking every individual problem and then developing a system where Groundhog Day is no longer celebrated within the company.
That plan in a
Well, that's what we're struggling with.
well, let's
We can share.
let's just share it. Let's share it. But what I don't want to do is not have something up there. So it just gives us something to talk about.
Godwin and Stickle were all misses due to Monroe as well. So I'm not going to deem those independently because they're deemed for Monroe. And Tucker was a missed appointment yesterday due to Stevens' incomplete gutter job. Once again, same thing, not difficult setup, just took more time than anticipated. So.
Now, when do you assign owners? After you mark it off, or at this time? How do you, when you check it, you put a little check there, and that does that mean that someone's assigned?
Somebody's been assigned to it.
Okay.
And then it's crossed off once it's actually physically completed. So we missed Tucker appointments due to Stevens.
Okay. So we not only didn't finish, but we didn't.
We missed the support.
Tucker was a 4 o'clock support.
So the actual when it comes to waste tracking, Tucker doesn't go on as a waste then. It just is a missed appointment, or
I put Tucker on as a waste, even though it was a support anyway. It would have been no support then. So,
Well, it should go down as waste, because it didn't cost us anything.
was it the homeowner was expecting us? And
they were.
It's not like a point where we're bringing it right.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. When we start talking about this thing, it's everything that you put in.
It should only be wasted if we're missing out on revenue.
Not for his purposes. That's you asked that we do it as a waste track, as actual waste.
There's an amount of energy that goes to setting up the appointment. There's an amount of energy that has to go to rescheduling the appointment and redoing it again. So what we want to do is pay attention. We've gotten it far enough along where we pay attention to misses, whether they're revenue generating or whether they're just extra activity.
So there's also opportunity lost if you want to get like down to
Sure.
Yeah, that's it for this week.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
The key thing you're looking at here, Charlie just made the key statement. They're looking at waste. They're looking at things that, quote, take energy, take time. All of this is part of the waste. Remember, this company has a model. Their maximum waste per day, Charlie has set up at $266 per day of waste. When you look at that on the surface, that may seem like a lot of money. What you've got to look at is not the percentage, the actual number. The percentage is what's all important, depending upon the size of the company. You've heard Charlie say 5% waste is their goal. That's what they're looking for. So this is what you've got to establish within your company is what is your maximum allowable waste per day in your operation. And now we go back to video. We're in now to part 3. I hope you're getting a lot of great information here, folks.
Any feedback on that we're not doing invoices anymore going out?
I have not done that this week. So we'll see how that goes
Everybody do have a printer.
Nice.
this week.
Everybody has a computer that works?
Now Wes, I have been printing his, not this week, but if he has a bigger job, like a cap or something, I'll print it. Since he's not very fluent with the computer yet. But I have not been printing anything else.
With Jobber, everybody has a computer.
It is. Especially when there's Wi-Fi available.
Yes.
Oh, that brings up another point. Joseph,
We have 2 extra computers in here.
Nice.
yeah, that's your name. What are we doing if handwritten invoices, do we not have any more of those? I know we've probably gone through them all, we've had them for years, but we just weren't going through
What,
them.
do they not have them?
I don't know where to find those
The
There's
guys have
triplets.
Do the guys have them? You're saying you need some?
No, Joseph came in here asking for them and,
Didn't he find them yesterday?
no.
Well, he didn't.
Cheese and sprinkles. You know, he didn't say anything after he did find them.
Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know. I told him in those packets right there.
We'll see what.
Well, he just didn't speak to the right people.
No, I mean, I
No,
was
he did. I
looking
told him
too.
those two cabinets. He just didn't come back to me and go with the
Well,
phone.
he came to me and I looked with
Oh, we
him.
know how
Oh,
that
you
goes.
look too?
And here you're seeing the frustration of management. They plainly told an employee where something is. The employee didn't find it. Look how it slows everything down. Now do you see the importance of everything in its place? Everything where it can be found.
I've been trying to find them.
Well, there they are.
I didn't know where they were.
Okay.
Well, there they are.
I just know that they're
They
there.
said they got hot.
Yeah.
They're in that cabinet.
All right, so printing invoices.
Right. There's not, we'll run out probably.
That'll be a time
in
to
springtime.
update
Yes,
the carbon copy handwritten because they're not going to go away. We need them.
Yeah.
We'll need to update that soon.
Because I just had one yesterday when I was doing the paperwork.
But they know if they do a handwritten, they come back and they do that.
Yes, I still have an invoice, but I also have that too. I just get rid of that.
Wes is he brought 5 jobs back to the office the other day, and I said, no. Yeah, you do this stuff if you can in the field. We don't come back here and camp.
right.
We got to get that out of here. Just go away. We don't do that. It's in the field.
Flex water.
Yeah. Electrify it. Get a metal table and put.
Is if they're able to get their assistants to drive,
I'm not going to push. Some of them have weird. Yeah, some of them have weird.
But their assistants can actually print in, I mean, there's things that can be done. The assistant can load pictures. I know Joseph can do that. So,
Joe's probably an exception. I mean, you wouldn't have Ron to do that.
teach him. Shoot, if I was running around, I mean, just maybe I would want my assistant working if I was driving. I would want him working. It would take, if I could save a few minutes at the end of my day and have my assistant learn the job at the same time, gee whiz, that sounds like a good deal. So, and then you get to go home and there's nothing to complain about. You just use your brain to come up with a better way of handling time. So maybe we can make that suggestion and maybe offer job or training for assistants or something like that. Or do remedial work for those and let them decide if they want to come or not. We can meet at a certain time at 6:30 and do 15 minutes of job or training before you go to, something like that. You can clock in and get some job or training for assistants, something like that. Just so the assistants can be more helpful in terms of the paperwork stuff. If you want to drive, fine. Get your assistant to help out. Make use of that.
You know, we need to make sure it's perfectly clear that it's your responsibility.
Yes. It's definitely the team lead's job, and you're just trying to make it so they don't have so much work when they come back here, and that's one way to do it. Just train tech.
I think the technician, if it comes down to that, and we're going to mandate that the assistant drive,
Well, I don't want to mandate it. Let them decide.
I would prefer to mandate the assistant drive and the team leader do his paperwork. Because he knows the importance. He's been paid for the responsibility. He needs to do it.
Okay.
So if we're going to say,
It's up to them.
well, I know, but we're saying two things.
Don't come back here.
Don't come back here and do your paperwork. That's a new policy. And your assistant drives to help you do your paperwork during that time. Because the assistant's sitting there for 3 hours a day probably in the passenger seat Googling, and
Sure.
he needs to be driving so you can do paperwork.
Cool.
So that's two policies. Are we going to set that in motion? I'm all for it because they come back here and they spend 2 hours every afternoon sitting here doing paperwork. I'm with that.
This is a perfect opportunity to meet with the lead techs and throw at them before you make it a mandatory.
Right.
Mandatory thing, out of those.
Right.
You say, here's the problem. We're looking for solutions. This is the one we came up with. Is there a better way to do this?
Yeah.
And more time on the job is not the answer.
And then let's make a decision, and
I know the answer to that.
we heard everything.
I've said it.
We heard.
Well, don't say you know the answer, because that really does eliminate good ideas. I mean, if you,
Well, with us, I can say that, but I'm not going to go out there and say
I know, but you know what? They actually do come up with good ideas, so we don't know it all. Just saying.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do with the photos? What are they doing with the photos? Just taking so long.
It's photos, it's documentation, it's everything. So they're actually coming back and doing reports here at the office.
So as you're seeing, as with many of you, they are undergoing changes as far as the documentation processes. And so what you're seeing is the issues that are arising from the transition to this and the solutions that they're coming up with. As you notice, they're also wanting to involve their team, the workers, in coming up with workable solutions.
I'm going to tell you what's working.
So as you go into this, keep these things in mind, that this is what you can do in your company to involve your management team and your total team to resolve your issues.
Right. Then where they instantly, every time they pop a picture, the picture will automatically go to Dropbox, and it'll be here within 5 seconds. And you've got them all. I've got.
Make it to the customer's individual folder in the cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually doing reports and stuff like that too. It's just, it just crept in, really honest. That wasn't how it was done, and then all of a sudden it just started happening where things were coming back here to the office and spending a lot of time here. So finding the root cause of that may be the other thing to ask them while that's happening.
You can just ask them to try it out for 2 weeks and just.
So as you're seeing, again, we keep going through the problems. You're seeing how they're coming to joint resolutions. Plans are being made. That was the end of the 3rd segment, and we're going into the 4th and final segment of the Chimneys Plus Gutter Solutions Managers Meeting. Again, I hope you've taken notes. Backtrack the video. Backtrack. You can go back and re-listen.
Say, hey, look, we're still trying to eliminate waste in our day-to-day field operations.
Okay, so we meet and we discuss the
We'll
problems.
just say, look, we've noticed that there's been quite a bit of time being taken up doing paperwork at the office, either in the morning before the day or in the afternoon. Do you guys have ideas on how to eliminate that? Stay off the defense?
Right. If we can learn how to do that off the defense, that'd be great. That's it.
That's where taking the input from them. In the perfect world, they'll come up with it and say, well, we could do that. Great.
Mm-hmm. And so, and then we can say, well, this is what we were thinking, and go from there. Because no decision will be made at that meeting either. It'll have to be brought back to us. And
how about, as far as technology, does the phone thing, does that help, or is it,
yeah, I mean, the problem with the way ours are set up is that each customer has their own box folder that these guys set up before they go to the field. So the thing where the phone takes the photo and then it sends it, it's going to send it to a generic folder, and they're still going to have to move it to that. It's their responsibility.
Are you on iPhones or Android phones?
On the iPhones.
If you're on iPhones, you can do that remotely from the field via iFlex, where they would automatically move into it. So what you're doing is, it's just part of the.
They can do it from their phones too. Like they have the Box account app, and they open the Box app, and they go to that customer's file, and then they say, choose from library. That's how I have Alex.
but that's basically what we're doing.
Yeah, they just come back here, but Jerry's saying it eliminates the step of inserting the memory card into the computer, importing.
We just did that at James's a couple weeks ago. It has been phenomenal what that's done, just having the photos transferred automatically. It's really working.
Who is actually in their office moving those photos to the customer?
Somebody in the office has to grasp them, so what you've got to do, at this point, they're not into a paperless operation, so they can't access into the data file. The premier way to do it is to set up to where, are you on smart service or what are y'all on here?
We're on a cloud-based program.
Are you in QuickBooks?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do it through QuickBooks. One of the Hustle uses QuickBooks. This is one of the problems where people are seeing their smart service shut down. They're trying to put their photos in the smart service. You probably heard this in the mix with smart service. You give me all kinds of problems. The QuickBooks file is where everybody's going to. They're turning this into the database, into the photo storage, all in the QuickBooks file. So when you transmit and prepare an invoice, it's done in QuickBooks. They're working in QuickBooks, but you got to have iFleet to tie it in with your operation here.
Yeah.
And I'm not a geeky to tell you how to do that. I'm just telling you an overview of how it's done.
We can explore.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing when it comes to is just
Well,
get some ideas from them so they don't feel like they're being forced to do anything.
the only problem is with the iPhone thing, everyone doesn't have iPhones.
Well, we can, that's easily.
Well, we just have to decide if that's a game changer, yes. If not, Android.
Well, we are going to do Androids for the new guys. Right?
And again, you're hearing discussing how, is there an equipment change needed, a software change needed, whatever they need to do. This is what they're discussing so they can figure out what they've got to put into process in actual day-to-day use. And again, everything here is designed make more with less, make the most of each moment of each day. How do we eliminate waste? That's their overriding thought, lowering waste. If you can lower the waste, then those dollars go immediately to the bottom line of the business. It's a very important factor in growing the business.
How to eliminate the waste in the afternoon, and if we can provide training opportunities that they can decide whether they want to be a part of it or not.
Yeah. I was
telling
Wes of the day where you used to be able to just walk in the afternoon, put your computer on. Your biggest problem in the afternoon was getting your computer to sync. But now, with this system, I would literally have been able to walk in the office, put my computer on charge, charge my tablet, and clock out and go home.
Because you can all in the field.
You manage your time the best you can. And I said, you and Joseph will get your own swing. You know, you're probably doing a lot of stuff that he should be doing. He said, I guess you're right, because we're both getting in the truck at the same time. And I said, no, you should be timing it where you're finishing your report, your proposals, and your invoices by the time Joseph's getting in the truck. When Joseph gets in the truck, you should be going to talk to the customer and the invoices and report the proposal.
Or be done.
Or be
walking
done,
in the truck, you know.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that's a great.
So it looked like we had an on there, so.
Perfect.
And maybe that could be everybody's problem. Their flow is just a little different.
Well, I know one of the things is that the flow is interrupted somewhat because they often have new techs, assistants. And so Ryan, who likes to be the lone wolf, can't do it all, but he thinks he can. So, we give him a new technician, and, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy when you're getting software. When you have and that's, I don't know how we can remedy that, but part of it is that we can actually help orchestrate that, or give ideas about orchestrating that dance a little better.
When we have to do it, maybe it could be a Tuesday topic.
An extended topic.
So we can actually talk about, because we don't have a lot of time to talk about stuff like that. So maybe it's an extended Tuesday meeting. Let it carry on until November, the third week of November.
Yeah.
And actually, everybody just takes some observations about, so we can have accurate observations. I know you guys are usually gone, but actual time. I don't say, oh, you sit there for 2 hours, but like actually just kind of keep in mind.
Oh, how much time
It's how much time there you've noticed in the what is happening during those times
right.
here.
It's not the best.
It's not the best setting for that.
Yeah, right here is not the best place.
Yeah. it's the best place so the assistant can get his mess done in the afternoons, get his stuff done, cleaning the truck. And there's a lot of distraction between here and there and here.
Sure.
So, and keeping them on for the defense too. We're just looking.
Yeah. Cool.
We'll figure out where to make it constructive. The clock in time was a little rough. This one will probably be a little rough, but the clock in time is really.
That's worked out great.
Yes.
Next actions, what do we got?
I have Wes looking to get you a train for Saturday. That's what I have.
Tony?
November 14th, 8 to 1.
All right.
I'm sure you all have people that. I don't know about yours. What day is that, Friday? Oh, you should be.
And we're still working on getting Tony in here. Is that right?
Anyway.
I want to make sure. I want to give that to somebody, making sure Tony's
Tell me what? In the office?
coming in here.
Tuesday? Or whatever day it is.
Tuesday.
I think I need to change his calendar for the year.
Yeah.
That's been done.
When did that happen?
Last week.
When you told me to do it.
They got it.
Thank you.
Just had to like get through some
Right.
stuff first.
Robert. Training. Schedule.
All right.
And Philip Saturday.
That could also, the Tony thing could also be part of your number thing.
Number 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's an install guy not getting an install done.
Thank you. It's worth it getting them in here. But we understand the cost of that.
I'm just saying, is that what you're going for?
You have too much Bob to show you. And
What, did they say that?
That's what
I haven't watched Bob and I listened to that in a long time. Because there's too many commercials now.
just saying. What do y'all
Is that what
say?
he said?
All right. Anything else? We got Rick Myers coming out if you have any moments. I'm not sure what we're going to do with it, but he's on his way. Thank you.
One question. Would Charlie or Jeremy please explain what a jobber is? You kept referencing a jobber a while ago. Please explain what jobber is.
Are we on camera?
Yes.
Okay. Jobber is our scheduling program that we use. It tracks actually does our schedule and also it's linked to QuickBooks.
Okay.
So the invoices, proposals, and everything are cloud-based. The guys do something in the field. It's the same thing as showing up here in the office. No photos are linked to Jobber. It's done through a Box account. And then we have a field in Jobber that says that customer-specific Box link. So if they ideally were uploading their photos in the field, it would go directly to Jobber, and then we could access here right away.
So jobber is software. A software system for scheduling.
It's a system, yeah.
Okay. Okay, folks. Appreciate it a lot. We've been here at Chimneys Plus today, and got Chimneys Plus and Gutter Solutions, and I want to thank them all. I know that, and I hope if you've listened to this, you picked up a lot of ideas. You'll probably need to watch this meeting twice. This will be coming to you in a recorded version on the webinar, so I'm going to suggest you listen to the details because they did a lot of things there, made a lot of progress. And if you heard things be bumping in the background, that was the phones ringing because right now no one is answering a telephone. The most important thing in this company is this manager's meeting right now to take care of all the issues that came back. So Charlie, I want to thank you for allowing my clients to view your meeting today. Okay? So talk to you later, folks.
Problem, but just say, hey, look.
And that completes the morning meeting. Completes it. I hope this has been helpful to you. I hope you've learned from this. So again, as we said at the beginning, one of the key things, and this is the thing that so many of us make a mistake in. We start things, but can we truly maintain them? We get 20 ideas, we implement 15, but we cannot maintain 15. Was it a mistake to implement 15? But if we can involve our team instead of just ourselves, and we can use our team, think of where we can go as a team. What it takes in a company like this is based on a system. Their forethought is continuous improvement. And adding another word into this is continuous, ongoing, daily improvement. Each day is a little better than the day before. Each week is better than the week before. And that results in each month being better than the month before. So at the end of a 3-month period, 6-month period, at the end of 1 year, if you've continuously improved every single day, just think where you'll be. Take a day off from improvement, hey, that's a day lost. You can't recover it. And that's what happens also. We take a day off. Hey, we just decide to slide today. It doesn't work. Success takes full-time endeavor. Success is not a part-time occupation. Success is something we have to pursue every single day of our business careers. Waste. Did you note the attention that was given in this meeting to the key factor of waste? Did you notice the tracking, the measurement that they did? And did you note that these were keys? As you talk to people who are experts in lean, this is what they look for. Without the tracking, without the measurement, your keys do not start the car. So you've got to have a key in order to trace down the waste, isolate the waste, and eliminate the waste. You've got to track, you've got to measure. The same with your sales goals. You're going to sell, you've got to track, you've got to measure, not just once in a while. You track it daily. It's part of management. Did you see how someone took ownership, or possibly the group took ownership when there was a problem? Taking ownership is all important. Otherwise, the problem just continues, and it just continues and continues on. So what someone has to do on the team is someone has to take ownership of the problem. And so often, as business owners, likely you take that ownership yourself, and you just can't handle owning every problem. It will take you over the brink. It's the reason you have stress. It's the reason you have frustration. Management teams, guess what? Now we have the team onto it. It's like a client's employee recently shared with me. If a lion and a tiger meet together and get in a fight, the tiger will probably win. The tiger is a loner. But if you take a team of lions and a team of tigers, the lions are going to really whoop up on them tigers, because lions are key players. They're team players. So are you a tiger? Or are you going to be a lion? It's what it's all about. The continuous improvement cycle. You've got to identify what's going on. What's the opportunities in the process? You've got to develop the plan, and you have to continuously be improving the plan. You've got to execute, implement changes. But as you implement them, you've got to review them. How are they working for the team? And it's a constant circle that goes around. You identify, you plan, you execute, you review. It's part of the continuous improvement cycle. It's how you get to where you're going. You've got to have timelines set. Continuous improvement, you know what? It's an ongoing process. And I got bad news. It never stops. You never get done. Every single day, you track, you measure, you modify, you review. It's all a part of the process. But what the process is all about is giving you your life back as a manager, as an owner. Is life truly as enjoyable as it could be? Do you truly have the time that you want with your loved ones? Do you truly have the time to spend? This is where you got to track, you got to measure, you modify, you review. And what you're doing is the words that a lean expert will say, is make better. It's all a part of the process, folks. Coming soon, I'm going to be returning to Chimneys Plus. I've asked Charlie if we'll have permission to come back and videotape his company lean meeting. In this, we're going to see how the management team then takes it to the team. How do we involve the team in where we're going? How do we involve them? And as a team of lions, we're going to all win together and go to the top. But it only happens if you have a team. So I hope that the time you spent in this webinar has been of value to you. I hope that it's given you ideas of how you can move your operation to an entirely new level. It's not going to be done in a week. It's not going to be done in a month. You're watching a company in process that's been into this process for quite a period of time. But the thing I do know from talking to my friend Charlie, it's ongoing. It continues on. He told me the other day, there's no way I can go back, Jerry. There's just no way. There's nothing to go back to. This is my future. This is how I'm going to reach my dreams. So, folks, I want to thank you. I want to put out again my appreciation for Charlie and his managers for allowing us to videotape them in action today. I hope it was of value to you. Hey, if you get a moment, you see Charlie, tell him thanks. Because Charlie just gave you a magnificent gift, a gift that can help you reach your dreams. And with that, I want to thank you for joining me, whether you're looking at this in the morning, in the afternoon. Involve your team. Sit down together. Watch this. Learn from this. And if you do, you're going to live and realize. Because our mission is to make your business dreams into your business realities. And this, my friends, was a key component of that. And this is the key that so many watching this webinar, if they will put to work, it's going to move their team to an unheard of level. But remember, you never stop. There's no days off from this. There's no time away. This is where you're going to involve yourself, and it's your decision on where you're going to go with this. And with that, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope your time's been valuable. You're a very important factor to me, each and every one of you. As I watch it, the people I work with, watching them attain their goals, their dreams in life is a trophy to me as I watch you succeed. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be a part of your success. Go forth, prosper, live your dream, my friends. Talk to you next time, and it has truly been wonderful to spend a little time with you in this format. Have a great day.